Hey guys, my name's Dale, and you're watching The Factoid. This video is dedicated to Michael Stevens. Michael Stevens is the host of one of the smartest channels on YouTube, Vsauce. That said, that's all most people know him as. That smart guy off the Vsauce without a number on it. Mostly because there's not a lot of information out in the open about him. So I took on the challenge, and boy was it a challenge, to organize Michael's story. A story about the life and success of one of the greatest people on the internet. And that story belongs to Michael Stevens. So let's get started. Michael was born January 23rd, 1986. So two things. Happy birthday, Michael, being that today is the 23rd. That was intentional. And you're only 28. You're nothing but a spring chicken. You're definitely wise beyond your years, Michael. With that said, Michael was born in Kansas City, Missouri. And around the age of 5, him and his family moved to Stillwell, Kansas. Michael only has one sibling, a sister that is 2 years younger. And you may be wondering, is she anything like Michael? Nope. She is unbelievably unlike Michael. I mean, she's participated in the Professional Women's American Football League, as well as being in BMX tournaments. None of you can say you saw that coming. I definitely didn't. Now, his mother works in the local school system, helping both teachers and students alike, while Michael's father is a chemical engineer. Michael's father, as described by Michael, is a polymath, which is Greek for having learned much, or a man who knows a lot about a lot, meaning that he's very smart, much like Michael, though Michael's more modest about it, being that he doesn't think he's a polymath, which I beg to differ. I mean, compared to the general population, Michael, come on. But with that said, a lot of the interviews show that the way Michael describes his father, you can kind of mildly see that in him. Now jump ahead a few years. Michael went to Blue Valley High School, and according to him, he was a bit of a class clown, but he also still really valued learning. I mean, going as far as reading the whole encyclopedia, partly for bragging rights, and I kind of don't blame you, but also because the information is very useful. And he did find a use for it. He participated in a program which had him do informative speech, which is kind of like what he does right now on his videos. But he gave a whole speech on the whole history of ketchup, everything about it. And what did he call it? Ketchup on ketchup. But to me, that's kind of like foreshadowing where he would eventually be. He also participated in the drama club. And being that he says that he went through puberty very young, by the time he got to high school, he looked like he could fit the parts of the older people. And he kind of got those parts. But through this, he was inspired by some of the great actors that he was around, and encouraged him to better his own acting. He graduated high school in 2004. Then to go to the University of Chicago to double major in neuropsychology and English language and literature. That's a bit much. But then again, we're talking about genius Michael here. Borderline Renaissance man. But it was college where Michael would get introduced to video production and editing. He saw a short video that spoofed the movie The Shining, making it look like a funny movie. And he was completely amazed how editing could completely change the whole meaning of a movie in a video form. And this encouraged him to join the video club that he had at his college. And he learned how to edit there. And one of the first videos he edited was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Taking the Friday the 13th commercial and taking just the sound and putting Ferris Bueller footage over it at the right moment, making it look like a horror movie. He then went on to post it on a bunch of sites and it got really popular on College Humor. And then he made another video later on, which was about politics, taking footage of George Bush and Karl Rove and putting rap music behind it looking like they were rapping. Once again, he posted on a bunch of sites and it got really popular on the website Funny or Die, even getting the celebrity Chris Hinchy to comment on it, roughly saying, I judge all my friends depending on how they react to this video. And it was from there Michael realized that people really appreciated the content that he had the ability to make, and he really wanted to keep pursuing that talent that he had. And who can blame him? Now the first YouTube channel of Michael's that I could find was... guess. Amazing Mike? No. Stevens Levens? Nope. Poop-licker 888? Yup. That's genius. Why didn't I think of that first? I kinda want Poop-licker 777 now. And he posted videos on it all the way till 2010. But what really propelled him was a channel called Campaign 2008, where he took the video footage from the campaigns going on at the time and it made funny voiceovers and stuff with them. The most viewed video on the channel has about 7 million views, and it's just called Hillary Clinton Farts. And it's pretty funny. And through the videos he was making, he eventually caught the eye of Ben Rawls, a major contributor to Barely Political, eventually asking Michael to edit and produce content for him. And Michael did some pretty good stuff. And when Michael graduated, he decided that that is something he loved a lot and wanted to pursue that type of career. So they hired him. And in September 2008, he moved to New York City, New York. And he ended up working for Next New Networks, and produced a lot of content for Barely Political and Barely Digital. Now throughout all this, Michael did make a little image for himself. The first major part that made him iconic in any of the videos was playing a character called the Bearded Nun. And once again, Michael, that's amazing. They made a spoof on one of Lady Gaga's songs, and Michael portrayed a bearded nun throughout the whole video. And it was so well liked that eventually he just became a recurring spoof character that they put in other music videos. and you can still find all these videos on Barely Political. Actually, you can find quite a few videos with Michael in them on Barely Political. But with all that said, this eventually leads to the Michael we know today. On this exact website called Fake Name Generator, Michael actually came across the name Vsauce. And it is pretty cool sounding. He then went on to obtain the Vsauce channel in the first half of 2010. Michael didn't actually make the original Vsauce channel. Being that it was inactive, he eventually obtained it. Now, at the infancy of Vsauce, a lot of people were contributing to it. It was about video games and cool stuff that you could find on the internet and what was going on. I mean, the first video on the channel was actually produced by Wacky Gamer. And Michael did have other people contribute to the channel for a while. Until Michael's own original content became really the main focal point of the channel. And then it started to revolve around Michael itself. With a few creative miniseries such as Loot, IMG, and Dot, Michael eventually solidified his placement as being the guy who represented Vsauce. As time went on, Michael then eventually developed Vsauce 2, in order to place some of the other content on it, to a point where once Vsauce 3 and 2 were around, he made his channel solely dedicated to the miniseries Dot, and it was official on September 9th, 2012, and since then he's only produced the educational videos that we see today. And some of the miniseries that he had can be seen on Vsauce 2 and 3 along with their own original content, hosted by Kevin Lieber and Jacob Ropper respectively. Now, while all this was happening, Michael eventually started working for Google in 2011. He was a content strategist, so not only was he doing Vsauce, but he was doing other stuff for Google. And through his job, Michael was sent to different places around the world. And one of his favorite places was England, eventually really growing attached to the team there. And when he found out that there was a position available for a program strategist over there, he hopped right on board. And he's been a resident of the great UK since April 2012. And it's become quite apparent that he loves it over there. According to my notes, that's the present. We're at the present now. Michael, these are my notes about your life. So all that's said and done, I want to thank you guys for watching. Vsauce has been taking the world by storm, being led by Michael, Kevin, and Jake. They're hands down my favorite YouTubers, and some of my best role models. And I would like to personally thank Michael for the impact that he's left on my life, and wish him a happy birthday. So my question for you guys is what is your favorite Michael Stevens moment? Whether it be from Vsauce or any time at all. With all that said and done, my name's Dale. You're watching The Factoid, and remember, never stop learning. Thank you. If you like what you saw, please stay in tune for more videos. Videos on the facts that almost everybody missed. People are still trying to study what are the benefits of doing this, but